We are back.
We're back.
Free agency part 2.
Part 2.
March Madness in full effect.
The madness has begun. One of my favorite times of the year for sports. And
Yes.
we're on the 4th day today, and a lot's happened already. I had a good
Yes.
bracket going in. The first round I did great. Second round, I'm still all right, but it's going downhill a little bit, like it always does.
Last night, yesterday, definitely, I was killing it. I was doing really good, and then I went into the dumpster.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's March. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. But here we are. We're back. So we had a little pre-production, and I got to tell, first of all, we got to say congratulations to Mitchell. Okay, I know he hasn't been on the show in a while, but I got a quick little story for you for Mitch. I'm
All right,
sure
let's
he's not
hear
going to, he's a man of many skills, okay? So there's a text chain with us and a bunch of people, and he starts telling us his story. He's like, first of all, he had a baby. He had a baby, second baby, Helen Rose. Congratulations to Mitch and Kate.
Congratulations, Mitch and Kate. Congratulations on the
yes. So it starts with the craziest things happened to me. Okay, and he's like at 9:40 something, 9:47. His wife goes into labor. Starts. The water breaks.
Yep.
He goes out, gets the car going, comes back in. They're not going to make it. Calls 911 to say, hey, dude, next thing you know, Mitch gave birth, or Kate gave birth to little Helen, with Mitch being the catcher in his kitchen, on his kitchen floor.
No shit.
Holy smokes. I text him. I'm like, is there anything you can't do? But congratulations to Mitch. That is amazing. What an amazing story. You know what I mean? Probably crazy.
Maybe not the way they planned. But
definitely
welcome to the world, little Helen.
Little Helen Rose. Little Helen Rose. All right, so let's get into it here, okay?
Yep.
We're going to do our top 10 free agency busts. We got a little news to get to, you know what I mean? So first, right out of the gate, right after the show, probably Monday morning,
Yep.
Waddle gets traded from the Dolphins to the Denver Broncos,
Yep.
okay? And you knew Denver was going after a wide receiver. You know what I mean? There was rumors that he was in touch with A.J. Brown. So the Waddle and the Dolphins, what is it? Denver gets Waddle, a 4th-round pick of this year's draft. Miami gets a first, a third, and a 4th from this year. Okay. What do you feel? How do you feel about that? This trade?
Well, for Miami, you kind of knew Waddle was going somewhere. It just seems like Miami's blowing up the entire team. From the start of free agency, everybody's going. Every single person that has a name on that team is now gone, except for Devon Achane. He's really the only one that's left.
That poor guy. Poor guy.
This guy, and he's one of the best running backs in the league. He's so talented with what he does.
Right.
And, you're kind of stuck there. And you know that he's probably not going to move. Unless they get a whole bunch of first round or something like that. He's that star guy on their team right now. So
Right.
Unless they get a really, really good package for him, he ain't moving. And I'd be shocked if Miami wins a goddamn game this year. I mean, everybody on their team's gone now.
And poor Malik Willis.
Yeah,
you know,
yep.
he finally gets a shot. And at what? You know what I mean? Like, he's got nothing going on. You know what I mean?
The longest throw that guy's going to have is an 11-yard pass to Achane on the out route. Like, that's like the only thing he's going to have.
A screen pass, maybe. Like,
it's going to be tough. They have no deep threats anymore. So now for Denver, though, like, getting Waddle, a little scary. Now, like, Waddle, it's not like Waddle's amazing. He's not, I wouldn't say he's not top 10, top 15 wide receivers, but he's just on that outside cusp. He's on, like, that, third tier where very good player. Still got to worry about him as a defense. Matching him up with Cortland Sutton. Denver's going to be scary after almost going to the Super Bowl this year.
Right.
They're going to be scary coming into the new season for sure.
A first-round pick for him? I don't see that. See that. He's an injury guy. I mean, he's got great stats, but he is an injury guy. He never makes it through a full season.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I mean, hey, Denver needed it.
Yeah, I was
think.
Gonna say.
I feel. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like it's a lot. You know what I mean? It is a late first round pick.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's the 30th pick in the draft. Yep. I mean, but I don't know.
A thing is too, like, this year's draft, it's not like it's stacked, you know what I mean? So it's not like in a couple of years where there could be an absolute stacked first round of guy. Like, this year might be, I think it's fine to send, it's like one of the last picks in the draft of the first round.
Yep.
Not the best draft class, so I think it's fine. I think Denver didn't really need the pick. They went out, kind of made a good move. If he plays the whole year, it's going to be, but like you said, he's an injury guy, so he'll probably miss a couple, but
right.
We'll have to wait and see. I think Denver's going to be real good and real scary coming out of the AFC.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to definitely wait and see. But they're aggressive. They were linked to the A.J. Brown, the old A.J. Brown trade, which you texted me about this A.J. Brown thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous.
Okay.
I believe it's ridiculous. They keep linking him that there's already a trade agreement in with the Patriots.
Yep.
But if you look inside Philly things, fishing with J-Dub. They still have Bo Nix, so not so scary. You know what? Absolutely.
Shout out J-Dub.
I haven't heard from you in a couple weeks. Hope it's about fishing season getting back into there. You know what I mean? But, Adam Schefter comes out and says that he wants to be traded, or that's what he thinks. Yeah. Now, A.J. Brown has never come out and said, I want to be traded. I want out. I don't think he's going anywhere. Somebody takes something. It was the same when it started last year with the Patriots on the Boston, radio stations where they just said, hey, A.J. Brown should come to get traded. And it blew up into this whole thing. It is the offseason-ish. They just hammer A.J. Brown. It's been like the last 3 years. Trade. He's never said he wanted out. Never, ever. And I believe he's not going anywhere. They got weapons right now. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to deny you on that one, but with everything, I mean, as a Patriots fan, I'm not going to say, hey, we don't want him. I'd love to see A.J. Brown in New England. That'd be great. When I first saw it, I was like, right away, oh, this is fake. This is like BS right away. And then I kind of started seeing it more and more, and everybody's got say the same story about already agreed, and we'll see it a couple days before or after June 1st. They put a date on it, which you don't really see. So I was like, okay, kind of BS, but hey, I'm not gonna rule it out. I'd love to see A.J. Brown come to New England, so I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see as a Patriots fan where you would want him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's definitely not going anywhere till at least if June 1st because
Yeah.
it's a huge dead cap hit on the Eagles.
Yep.
But I just leave this man alone. Leave him alone, for crying out loud. But then you see there's Philly stuff where inside Philly where things couldn't be better. You know what I mean? You got people trashing Hurts. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me that Hurts is like labeled one of the most hated men in football.
Yeah.
Like,
The
I don't
Eagles-
get that at all. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, the Eagles have had like the last couple seasons since they kind of won the champion. Everybody in the America, when the year that they won the championship over the Chiefs, were so into the Eagles. Like Eagles,
Loved
this,
them.
the Eagles are
Loved
the best. Everybody loved the
Yep.
Eagles. I think a lot had to do with they were playing pretty much Darth Vader and the freaking Star Wars in the Chiefs.
Yes,
you know what I
the
mean? Like,
rebellion.
yeah,
yes.
everybody wanted the Chiefs to go down. Chiefs were kind of like the Patriots of the 2010s, and then the Chiefs come and started doing it again into the
Yep.
2020s. Everybody wanted to see them lose.
Oh,
Eagles
yeah.
did it. Everybody was an Eagles fan that night, pretty much, unless you're rooting for the Chiefs, which is their 100,000 fans, a million fans that they got all of a sudden because of Patrick Mahomes. But
Right.
everybody else in the world wanted Philadelphia to win that. And then Philly comes out the next year, doesn't play absolutely amazing, starts to have
Terrible
some
offense.
you know what I
Terrible.
mean? And
Yes.
then everybody jumps ship from them, and it's like starts giving them crap.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of every. I mean, people like to do it. People like to cause drama and all that, but people were praising the Eagles and saying they were an amazing team. Their offense is insane. I mean,
Yes.
and then they come out and they don't replicate it the next season perfectly
Right.
to a T, and then they get on them, which is like, hey, what are you gonna do? But I'm not one of those people. I don't like because last year I liked the Eagles. I think they're a good team. You know, I'm always rooting for them, but their offense was sluggish. It was nothing like
Oh,
it was the year before.
it was
you know what I
rough.
mean? So
And it was frustrating as an Eagles fan to see. You know, you knew Saquon wasn't going to get the 2,000. You know what I mean? Like
that was
you-
an incredible season. It's going to be very hard to replicate that.
But they had weapons. They had Smitty. They got AJ Goddard. They had their offensive line. Everybody was coming back. It was the defense that everybody was worried about, and the defense is what kind of kept them in the season. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
But anyway, so yeah, AJ Brown. You were touching base on that with a little text message, and so let's get in a little free agency, little recap. Nothing crazy last week, right?
Nothing much. Not many big moves really at all, but
No. What do we got? Oh, the big news is Carson Wentz re-signs a 1-year deal. You know what I mean?
which was kind of a shocker. Now they've got 3 eligible QBs in that QB room. You know, like any of them can play.
Oh yeah, because Kyler Murray, we touched base
Kyler
that
Murray.
last week. Yep.
I think the least likely to play now is 9. I feel like they're just they kind of are giving up on that guy. I mean, like Kyler will probably start, and then I don't even know if they throw 9 in if say Kyler gets hurt or anything. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
they signed him back. I just don't think Justin Jefferson likes playing with JJ McCarthy at all. Like I don't know what that is, whether
No.
it's you know what I mean, whether it's him
Yeah.
directly or they just don't have chemistry like any of the other quarterbacks Justin Jefferson has played with.
Right. Oh yeah. So Carson Wentz resigns, and then the Texans sign former Browns Pro Bowl Wyatt Teller to a 2-year, $16 million deal. 23 with a possible 23. That's good for the Texans. They need an offensive line. You know what I mean? The Jaguars. And here's what's crazy about the Seahawks. So the Seahawks, I mean, Jake Bobo is nothing crazy. He's a decent third-ish. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Do they still have the Seahawks like projected pre-draft as like number 3? I'm like, dude, they lost a lot of folk. You know
They
what I
did
mean?
lose a lot of people, absolutely. I think that's just like what happens in these preseason rankings. Like if you win the Super Bowl or you go to the like, they always put you pretty high. Like no matter what
Right.
happens to your team, and
Yep.
then I mean you can see what happens after a lot of teams after they win the Super Bowl. They have trouble making it back or anything. The Seahawks are still going to be good. I think they're going to be fine, but they do play the Rams twice a season. You know what I mean? I think the Rams are a little bit better.
Right.
Quite a bit better coming into this season, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Oh, yeah. And then old Greg Dortch.
Yeah.
That's a name you kind of hear every once in a while.
Yep. Dortch.
And the Lions, I mean, the Lions, they went out and got Pacheco. Pacheco is rejuvenated.
Yep.
He is excited to, because there was something we didn't touch on last week. And then this DN Espinenza from the Bills, we kind of touched base on him, maybe going to the Patriots, seeing that the Patriots needed a little line. Mm-hmm. You know, he signs a lot of 1 year deals.
Yep.
A lot of 1 year deals this year. You know, it's almost like you see those prove it. It's the prove it years. You know what I mean? And then, and you said you didn't know about this. Nope. Hollywood Brown.
Yep.
Going. I mean, he'll take. I don't mind the signing. Everybody's like, oh, as soon as they sign him, they're like, buy AJ Brown. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like Hollywood Brown is not replacing AJ Brown.
That's like not even close. If AJ Brown does leave, I mean, like Hollywood Brown has nothing to do with that. Like it would become Devontae Smith's obviously going to become the number one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they'd sign another guy. Like, it would be Devontae Smith's receiving core at that point. And then, But Hollywood Brown, hey, if they do keep AJ, they keep Devontae. Oh, well, obviously they're keeping Devontae. And then they got Hollywood Brown who can literally just run a seam route up the middle. And he has to take somebody with him. You know what I mean?
He's he's a deep ball threat. He's that Mm-hmm. He's going to separate the defense. That's what he's there for, you know? Yep. And who knows? And everybody's still comparing, oh, he ain't ever going to get the ball. This is going to be a completely different offense for the Eagles. It's not going to be anything like it was last year. Not a thing, you know? So, anyway, Zach, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
So we compiled, you know, we're in our free agency period of time here, you know? And it's time to get into, there's no specific order, right?
Yeah.
No specific order. But we both chose 5 of our free agent busts, top 10 free agent busts of all times. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. I'll start right out with this. And this is right up your alley. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's get a little Antonio Brown. Oh. Old Mr. Big Chest. You know what I mean? Mr. Big Chest on the Steelers, gets traded to the Raiders, right?
Yep.
Does nothing with the Raiders. I don't even think he made it through camp.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it was, so from what it seems is, it was a 1 year, $10 million deal that New England took over. And what did he play, like a game?
Yeah, maybe 2 games. I remember watching that first game he played, and Tom Brady loved him. I mean, Tom Brady targeted him. He caught a touchdown pass in the first game he played, and it was like, okay, this guy, like, I mean, his head was nuts, but, like, you could still see some, like, little like stuff that he was doing on the Steelers where it's like, okay, this guy's still got some talent. And then next week goes by, and it's like, oh, no A.J. Brown tonight. Next week goes by, no A.J. Brown, and it's like, okay, like, is he injured? Like, what happened? Nothing really comes out. And then it's like, okay, well, apparently this guy's just not even on the team anymore. And he was just gone.
Yeah, and I think Brady had him, like, living at his house and all that.
Yeah, because Brady really liked him. And then, like, especially when Brady left the Patriots, and then, like, he brought A.J. Brown or Antonio Brown onto the Buccaneers that year. They won the Super Bowl there, and then you know how that ended when he took off his pads in mid-game and never to be returned onto a football field.
Oh, that was it. That was against the Jets, I believe.
Yeah.
So Antonio, and then later on comes out, talks a bunch of smack about Gisele Bundchen, and
yep.
Supposedly there was a tape and all that, and who knows. And now he bounced to England to avoid some attempted murder charge.
Yeah, he's a specimen, absolutely. I mean, did I ever tell you about the time he spent in Albany, like how
he was? Yeah, the wasn't the Firebirds. It was
the
something
Empire,
else.
Albany Empire.
Yeah,
yep, when he owned that team and pretty much burned it to the ground by not paying any of the players. but he would like spend time in like bars, like college student bars,
And you
like,
were washing dishes at this point, right?
no, well, no. I mean, because this was like more. This is after he left Buccaneers. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like this was probably 2022, 23. So I was
Oh,
like,
okay. So you were
I
in
was like-
Ithaca at this
yeah,
point.
yeah. I
Yes.
was like,
okay.
I would come
all
back
right.
on like December break and stuff, and like
Mm-hmm.
we'd be out in Albany, just like at a bar, like a college bar, like Siena students, Albany students go to this bar, and
Right.
like it's just like a popular younger club type, just like good music, and he would be in there with his posse, like in the back
Right.
with the ski masks on, and it's like people are like it's like, oh my god, that's Antonio Brown, but then on the other hand, you're like, who gives a shit? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, this guy, like, nobody wanted anything. Like, who cares, really?
Right.
I mean, obviously, he drew a crowd. Like, and Albany people are obviously, it's going to draw a crowd, but, like,
Star
like-
effers, we'll say. Well,
yeah.
Star effers. We'll try to keep it more kid friendly.
yeah.
Until we get really pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he kept saying he was gonna play. He was gonna play,
Yeah.
and they was like, "I'm gonna play on this date to get tickets." And the place sold out.
Yeah.
Normally, it's like 2,000 people in this place,
Yep.
which holds 15,000.
Yeah.
And then he would never show up and whatever.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Oh
Yeah, this guy is a kook, but I like the way the start of the list.
Yes.
Good number 10 with Antonio Brown. Definitely a bad signing by the Patriots.
Right. All right. So now you take it away. Who do you got as your starting off your list of
Bad
Of our-
free agents. All right. I'm gonna start our list with Kirk Cousins. Kirk
Oh.
Cousins.
Mr. Kirk Cousins?
Yep.
Oh,
The free agency signing to the Falcons, which honestly, like, as I'm looking, and I wanted to do more free agents that are like kind of from my era, people that I knew and saw happen and all that stuff. So I went kind of newer age, and Kirk Cousins is one of those ones where it's like when he first got signed, it was like not the worst. I mean, it's a lot of money. Like, sure, it's a lot of money, but he was
Right.
playing great. Like, he was winning games and he was
coming
throwing
out
the
of
ball.
Minnesota. Yep.
Yes, and he was winning games. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then they went and paid him 4 years, $180 million with $100 million guaranteed. Atlanta paid him.
And this was pre-draft, which is a
Yes.
big component in this
Yep.
whole thing too.
Yep.
So pre-draft, free agency signs a monster deal, a pretty good deal, you know.
And it
And
was
then
huge
what
because,
happened?
because I'm looking at my notes here, and it was a huge sign because Kirk Cousins actually like he came off an incredible year, with Minnesota, and then so they sign him to this huge deal, and then they go to the draft and they sign Michael Penix Jr. They go ahead and sign one of the like, I wouldn't say like, obviously this was the class with all the big huge rookies, but like outside of those three guys at the first three picks.
Right.
Penix was like a good choice, and it's like, okay, are they just drafting this guy? He's gonna work under Kirk. Kirk goes out there, doesn't have the best season. Penix starts playing a couple games. Next thing you know, Michael Penix is starting the next season.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you just paid Kirk Cousins $180 million, $100
Yeah.
million of which is guaranteed. He's getting that no matter what. And then now we see, I mean, after this, like, it was just one of those ones where it's like, you're going to spend all that money, immediately kind of look like you're going back on it by drafting Penix.
Yep.
Even because you don't really come out and they didn't say, like, oh, we're going to draft him just so he could sit under and learn from Kirk Cousins. They never said that.
No,
So,
they
like,
drafted him. They signed him to be their man.
Yeah, and so
then-
like everybody pretty much was like, the second his name got called, you were like, okay, Penix in Atlanta, like that's not a bad like pick. I like it. And then right away everyone was like, wait, hang on, they just signed Kirk Cousins. What the hell are they doing? And then of course the season goes on and Penix starts 2025 and they pretty much seemingly give up on Kirk Cousins after paying him $180 million.
And he's one of those guys. He's either really good or he's garbage.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think the season he came into Atlanta, I think it was week 2 or 3. They played Philly. Philly was smoking. It was like a Monday night game.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins drives back and wins the game. Like won it for him. And you're like, oh. And then after that, boy, oh boy, the bottom of the bucket came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's like one of the things with Kirk Cousins is like he's had that throughout his career. Like he's had great seasons and he's dipped back. Like Redskins, like his whole career in Redskins was pretty much a roller coaster. You know what I mean?
They kept tagging him. Oh yeah,
and he'd have half a season, he'd be incredible. You're like, okay, and then he goes out and he'll throw 15 interceptions. It seems like in 4 games, and it's like, okay, hang on, maybe not good. And then he'd come back next season, and be good. The next season, be bad. So he's been up and down in his career.
Oh yeah.
And now that they drafted Penix, it was kind of pretty much just saying literally a couple months after they signed him, they draft Penix, and it's like, well, what the hell was the point of the signing then?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I got that to start off my list is Kirk Cousins.
There you go. Well, I got this next one is a favorite coming out of Pittsburgh, signing with the New York Jets, Le'Veon Bell. Oh boy, what a turd! What a turd! I mean, he was on top of the world in Pittsburgh, on top of the world. All right. The Jets sign him. You're anybody who's anybody, and you sign with the Jets, you're automatically cursed. Automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I don't like the Jets or have anything against the Jets. It's just one of those things. You know what I mean? But his first season with the Jets, he starts all 15 games. You know, his average, I think in Pittsburgh, he was like 4.3 per touch. It went down to about 3.3. You want it kind of around 4 or 5-ish. You know what I mean? Started all 15 games. Or not all 15 games. Started 15 games, which isn't terrible.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then the next year, hamstring issue, plays 2 games, and that's it.
Yep.
You never see him again. And his contract was, what did he sign here? Let's see. It was a 4-year, $52.5 million deal, which, 6-7 years ago was a big contract for a running back. That's big now. You know what I mean? So, Le'Veon Bell, and then he goes away, and then wasn't there rumors he wanted to, box Logan Paul or something like that?
Just a couple days ago, a week ago, he pretty much, came out and told Logan Paul, because Logan Paul apparently... where in his WWE phase, Logan Paul is now kind of just being a righteous jerk and saying that he's better than everybody and everything.
Yeah.
So he said he'd box Le'Veon, and Le'Veon was like, "All right, let's do it," and we don't have to do the cameras or whatever. Someone said that, and then I guess WWE supposedly came out and told Logan Paul, "He's like, yeah, you can't be boxing people when you're under contract. You need to be ready for our show. We can't have you boxing people and get your face messed up or anything." Try to come out on the show and act like, you know what I mean? So that went away. But Le'Veon Bell has had some boxing matches. I think he's won a couple, lost a couple.
Right.
He's been knocked out, I'm pretty sure. Maybe knocked somebody out. But, I guess that's his new wave. That's his new sport, is boxing. So.
Right. I got a little quote from you, because remember that was the Adam Gase days.
Yes,
the Adam Gase, who was a turd.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is a little quote from Le'Veon, all right? I still randomly think about how pissed I used to be in the huddle when Adam Gase would call 21 dive on a 2nd and 10. All right, so Le'Veon Bell, we have him in number 8 as turd of turds. All right. So who do you got now? Who do you got? We got number 7 coming up. And this is no specific order.
Order.
This is just kind of throwing it out there, right?
Yep.
All right, who do you got at number 7 here?
And this one hits home a little bit to you, Kev.
Okay.
But I completely forgot about this one until I was doing some research on it. But
all right,
I've got DeMarco Murray going from the Cowboys to the Eagles. Oh boy.
DeMarco Murray.
So the contract was a big one, especially for back then when it happened. This 2015. It was 5 years, $40 million. So he was getting $12 million a year.
Okay.
And it was just coming off the guy who was literally the best running back that we've seen in probably since he was having one of those seasons where it was before that was LT 2006 and those guys where it was just yards
Right.
after yards and touchdowns after touchdowns on the
Right.
Cowboys. He had.
And this was
Came-
Chip Kelly. I believe this was Chip Kelly days,
Yep.
right? Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh,
And so he came out, and so his 4 seasons with the Cowboys were insane before this. Mainly was his last season with the Cowboys going into free agency, where everyone was like, he's going to get the bag and he's going to go off from there.
yep.
Well, he got the bag. He got the bag from Philly, and
Chip
then
Kelly.
he continued to not perform as well for the
No,
Eagles. I'd
he's
say
terrible.
I would
Terrible.
say he was horrible. He never broke 1,000 yards. He kind of just, when you go from such high, like literally the best running back in the league by far,
Yeah.
coming down and just kind of being middle of the pack. Nobody's really. It's not like you're doing much at all. You're not really making highlights. You're kind of just staying in the middle of the pack. Not even really the middle of the pack. Lower
Right.
pack after. I mean, you're not crossing 1,000 yards after having 1,600 yards. You know what I mean? A huge season. And it wasn't the signing that everybody thought it was going to be. Not just Philly fans. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Not just Philly fans at all. The whole entire NFL. And this was just one of those busts where it's like. It was kind of just like, oh, poor DeMarco, but then it was like, well, I guess not poor DeMarco. He got his bag, and I guess he wasn't into it as much. He wasn't putting up numbers, and then he kind of, I think he was only there for a couple years. He didn't play all 5 years.
1 year. So I read it's 5 years, 40 million, 21 million guaranteed. He lasted 1 year. Yeah, it was Chip Kelly. It was Chip Kelly's running gun and all that, and then. Yeah, they had run. Oh, that's when they had Sproul trained Darren Sproles,
Yep.
and Ryan Matthews, who kind of picked up the slack. But yeah,
and
he
then
lasted.
1 year, and then I think he left and went to another team. It was maybe like an AFC team. But he
They
went
traded
to
him to the Titans.
the Titans. Yes, he
Yeah.
went to the Titans, and again just didn't have the numbers at all. And then it's just one of those ones where it's like bad year. All of a sudden he's out of the league. And,
Right. Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you what, that 2014 season from the Cowboys into that 2015 season with the Eagles, they looked real bad signing on the Eagles. I mean, what are they going to do? You're getting the best running back in the league, and all of a sudden he doesn't perform. So
Yeah, I think I saw something where with the 4 years of the Cowboys, he had almost like 5,000 yards.
5,000,
Yeah. DeMarco Murray, one and done.
great player, but I mean, not really more than those 4 seasons with Cowboys, and really even in those 4 seasons, it was really only the last 2 with the Cowboys.
Right. All right, let's move on. What do you say? DeMarco Murray's a turd.
Yep.
Turd. 1 year. Chip Kelly, turd. You know what I mean? I think Chip Kelly's going to be flipping burgers with Kevin Patullo here. So my number 6, Matt Flynn. You remember Matt Flynn? He was a
Enlighten
backup.
me. I don't know if I remember. It might be a little bit before my time.
It was what 2012, so not
Oh, okay.
terrible.
Not really, yeah.
2012ish. He was a backup for the Packers. Okay. Came in. I believe it was Aaron Rodgers got hurt. He came in like kind of the end of the year and lit it up. I'm talking like 3-4 games or so. Lit it up.
Yep.
Which some backups do, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Some come in, they ball out.
Right. And then he signs a 3-year, and he's a free agent, signs a 3-year deal, $19 million, which back then is okay-ish for a quarterback, and does nothing. He's a complete turd. I remember like where everybody's like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? He had more stats on the Packers than he did. His stats were better in his little stint being a backup than he was as a full-time player for the Seattle Seahawks.
Jesus.
Matt
Horrible
Flynn.
signing. Horrible signing.
Dude,
Matt Flynn.
he was there, like they blew him up into this whole thing, and then he was just a complete turd.
So was
You know what I
that
mean?
was that on the Seahawks like what, right before they drafted Russell Wilson pretty much then?
Let's see. Was it? It could have been.
Yeah, because Russell Wilson was like right around that time.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, it was probably after the Hasselbeck retired before that, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Wilson was drafted, and then
Yeah.
in the offseason the next year, he got drafted, won the starting job
Yep.
off in the distance. Oh, they traded Flynn to the Raiders, and we
Oh,
never
okay,
heard.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he was gone out of the league.
he was dust in the wind.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's what happens. That's what happens when you give a backup real money, and hopefully we could see a little bit of a change with Malik Willis this year. But
Right.
who knows? Who knows? They're backups for a reason, but Malik Willis should be able to change that mold a little bit. I think he can start.
I think so. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if he doesn't do well, it's not his fault. Like you can't
Definitely
say that.
not now. Definitely not now.
No. So all right, let's get into number 5. Feeling alive with number 5.
And
What do we
this
got?
this one's another one that kind of hits home for you, but it wasn't your team getting him anymore.
Okay,
It was
okay.
your team losing out, and it's going to be Nick Foles. Nick Foles.
Ah, old Nick.
Your team
Oh.
actually got the best out of Nick Foles, you know?
Dude, even like during the Chip Kelly days, I like Nick Foles. He's
Yep.
in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Not because of the Super Bowl, because he had this
Right,
crazy
right.
game against the Raiders, and
Yep. And what was it? He tied the record all time, right?
yes, and Nick Foles, he got a decent little contract
A
there,
big
right?
bag. Yep. It was with the Jaguars. 4 years, $88 million.
88
50 million guaranteed, and this
Yep.
was, of course, the season after he led. After Carson Wentz goes down, gets the
Yep.
Eagles to the championship, beats Brady in one of the best Super Bowls that we've seen in the last 15 years. Something like
Great Super
I mean-
Bowl.
I mean,
Yes.
amazing Super Bowl. One of the might be the highest scoring Super Bowl in like the last 20 something years. I mean, it's probably the highest scoring I've seen. And he gets signed. He goes to Jacksonville, where it pretty much just starts. He gets hit with injury ride, and
I think he got hurt the first game of the year.
right. I mean, first, and I don't know how many games he ended up actually playing, but he got injured. It was like you said, it might have been in the first game. I mean, he
Right.
got injured right away.
Yep.
And then he got benched like throughout later in the season when the guy with the mustache came into it. Gardner
Minshew.
Minshew
Yep.
Magic.
Oh,
Minshew
here we
Magic
go,
started
yep.
winning. Yep, Minshew started winning the quarterback role, and then he kind of took over the hearts of Jacksonville and started getting some publicity, and then it was kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
the rest of the season was Minshew Magic, and then the next year Minshew starts the next year, and kind of
Yep.
Nick Foles just kind of lost everything, even though Minshew wasn't incredible, you know what I mean? It was just kind of injuries, and then kind of Minshew just gained all the popularity and had a few good games, but even through
Yeah.
the next season, Minshew wasn't great, and now look at Minshew. I mean, he's a backup somewhere again. But paying a guy $50 million guaranteed, $88 million contract for you to get injured right away, and then when he does come back, he gets outplayed by a random guy with a mustache who America falls in love with for
Yeah.
3 weeks just to get you don't win your job back at all after that.
It says here season opener he broke his clavicle. All right, and then he came week 14. He was benched,
Yep.
and then I think he was a backup for the next 2 years, and then you know what I mean.
Yep.
And then he retires. He retired after that. You know what I mean.
Yep.
But yeah, I love Nick Foles. He's the one guy. He's got a statue. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's one of those guys where it's his name's always going to be there in history. Obviously with the touchdowns and taking Philly and winning that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But it's just for the Jaguars that year, paying him how much they did
Yeah.
for him to get
Oh, yeah.
injured, come back, benched, back up, leave the league pretty much. It's just not the best
yeah.
signing. Not the best signing
No.
in recent history.
No. Nick Foles. I loved him when he was on the Eagles, when he got drafted, and then he signed with the Rams, the St. Louis Rams. with John Fisher.
Fisher.
And then Fisher pretty much released him live at a press conference. Like, that poor guy, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then he was going to retire, and he signed with Philly, and it all worked out. You know what I mean? All right, so this is a weird list because we're touching base on a lot of birds here. There's a lot of birds.
A lot of birds.
And lo and behold, I have a bird, one more bird for us.
Okay.
And hopefully this is it for the list of birds. Jeepers creepers. Poor eagles. Can't catch a break. All right. I have Nnamdi Asomugha.
The D-back.
Now, when he was at the Raiders, this was Oakland Raiders at the time,
Yep.
he was the top free agent coming out of that year. And I remember I don't know if it was Easter, but it was like a family party going on. And I remember being like, they just signed Nnamdi Asomugha. And everybody's like, was that even English? You know, and I was like, yes, he's the best D-back in the league, you know?
Yep.
And he sucked. Like, what is it? 5 years, $60 million, 25 guarantee, in 2011.
Yep.
And yeah, he killed it. He was, I don't know if it was the system or what, because he was like a man-to-man, and he would just get toasted left and right. He lasted maybe a year or 2 years, and then they released him. He went to San Francisco.
Yep.
And didn't do. I don't think he. That was the whole dream team. That was the Vince Young jinxed it with the dream team. All that talk. You know. And they did nothing. They I think they won 4 games that whole year.
Tough.
You know. So he signed with the 49ers in 2013 and appeared in only 3 games. And then he got waived, and then he retired. You know, so Nnamdi Asomugha, Eagles are filling this list.
Eagles are on this list heavy. Honestly, we got a lot of guys from just the NFC East. Like, a lot of guys from the NFC East.
Right. Hopefully it changes here. Hopefully it changes.
And it's not going to change. I mean, we got another.
What are you
NFC.
talking about? What do you got? All right, so Nnamdi Asomugha is a big turd.
I got another little a turd after he became a free agent. I've got wide receiver Kenny Galladay going to the Giants. NFC East is on this list left and right, man.
What is going?
So this one was just one of those ones where it's like the second he got signed, everybody in the world was like, way too much money, way too much money for this guy. They gave him 4 years, $72 million.
Right.
And this was in 2021.
Okay.
And Kenny Galladay, it's not like he was coming off. He was not, like, insane. I mean, he made a couple Pro Bowls. He had a couple 1,000-yard seasons with the Lions. But he was playing with Matt Stafford, who was lights out in those years. I mean, he was doing
that
well.
Megatron years as well, or no?
Not as much. It's after Megatron a little bit, but like Stafford was still kind of, because Stafford started with Megatron pretty much like in 2012, 2011-ish, maybe like 2009, I think was his rookie year. But he was coming up, so this is really 10 years into his career. Like he's close to his prime, you know what I mean? And he's shelling this guy. Kyle Galladay was a great. He wasn't like number 1 in the league, you know what I mean? But he was like number 1, number 2 on the team after Calvin Johnson left. But he was never one of those guys where it's $72 million for 4 years. Giants go out and get him, and I don't know if the Giants thought all of a sudden that they had a quarterback capable of doing what Stafford did. They had Daniel Jones, and this is doofus Daniel Jones. This isn't
this is
new,
Frankenstein.
Yeah, this isn't new Daniel Jones on the Colts, where all of a sudden somewhere he decided to play football.
Right.
This is doofus Daniel Jones.
Officer
Absolute
Doofy. Yes. Yeah.
Absolute doofus. And then they signed him, and he doesn't play very well. I mean, I'm looking at the notes I got here, and the last season before they signed him, he only had 338 yards in Detroit an injury-ridden season.
Oh,
but like,
Jesus, right?
But like they sign him after this, and then of course he goes to New York, plays with Daniel Jones, doesn't have many big plays like ever. Like he only was there for a couple years.
Yep.
They signed him to 4 years. He plays for 2, $72 million, 40 of it was
Yep.
guaranteed, and expecting something when you're coming from a great quarterback who makes the wide receivers look a lot better. Kenny Galladay was never one of those wide receivers who would make the quarterback look better in any situation. And I think the Giants found out very fast. And then, of course, he was only there for 2 years and hasn't played in the NFL since he was left the Giants. And then after 2 years, so.
I'm reading here his second season. So his first season, he had 521 yards. Okay, which is, that's like number 3 numbers. But in his second season, he appeared in 12 games, which is three-quarters of the year.
Yep.
He had 6 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, this is like another one where it's like, wow, props to you for getting that money, dude. No idea how you convinced. You must have an incredible agent.
Great
Because,
agent.
like, to convince a team to give you all that money, the player you were, I mean, granted, you're lucky you played with Matt Stafford, I guess. Let's just give him that. That's the only thing that can make sense. Goes, Daniel Jones, doofus, plays with him. Doesn't have a good first year. Has a horrible second year from what you just said. And then doesn't get signed and hasn't played in the NFL since and probably won't.
Oh, yeah. Kenny Galladay.
Yeah.
We want to know your top free agent busts. This is just our little opinion. You know what I mean? Please comment and J-Dub, tell us besides Bo Nix, who else?
There's got to be someone out there, maybe not just all time, but like somebody that your team signed or whatever that you just didn't like, something like that.
It just rubbed you the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, all right, look, we're down to number 2. We're down to number 2. All right, so number 2, I got my number 2, or our number 2. You know what I mean? I don't know if you remember this guy, Brock Osweiler.
I like this one. I was looking at this one as well.
What a turd. So what, he came in, he was on the Broncos, drafted by the Broncos.
Yep.
Filling in for Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning gets hurt.
Yep.
Okay, he comes in and kills it.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of the same Matt Flynn story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But Brock Osweiler was like, when he was filling in for, I mean, Brock Osweiler was the man. Like he was dealing that sucker, and he was becoming a big. This is why another one where it's like you got to understand where they're coming from. Which signing him maybe ended up being too much money, but he was balling out when he was filling in for Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he filled in. It was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
He filled in while he was hurt. 4 years, $72 million. He went to the Houston Texans. Okay. All right. And this is, Houston Texans kind of merging at this point. And he played 1 year at Houston. Sucked. He was at 59% of his passes. He had under 3,000 yards. He was 15 touchdowns for 16 interceptions with a monster contract. 1 year, and I think he went somewhere else, maybe. But next thing you know, you hear him he was in the college booth, like calling games. Is the last time I've ever heard from him.
Yep.
But man, I remember being like, look at this guy, Brock Osweiler. Like, he went to Houston. It was such
a bad, horrible signing. And
horrible.
Horrible. I mean, bad luck. I mean, this is one of those guys, especially then, because Texans, it's not like Texans had their guy. They were bouncing around. This is like before Watson. This is like after Matt Schaub. And like this is like, so, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so like they were in the, and they were like, oh, this guy can ball out. Might as well get him over here. And then, I mean, good God, like, no, he did not pan out. Did not pan out for him.
What is it? Here it is. Oh, he did go. So the following offseason, this is after he played 1 year. The following offseason, the Texans were so desperate to get rid of Osweiler, they sent 2 draft picks, including a second rounder, to Cleveland just to dump his contract. And of course, the Cleveland Browns jump on it like turds. So yeah, he was, and I don't think he did anything in Cleveland.
No,
Anything.
no, I don't like nothing.
Yeah.
I nothing.
Yeah. This is a funny quote. There's one small problem with Osweiler. He wasn't very good. So here we're on to our number one, and we both agreed to, like,
Yeah.
when you gave me your number one, I was like, that was, and yes. So we're in agreement here. I think the whole world is.
Yeah.
And it is Mr. Albert Hainsworth.
Yep.
All right. The bum of all bums. A douche, a bum. And this is the pinnacle of this is what is it? What is the old owner of the Skins? It's not Arthur Blank. Arthur Smith, I think is his name. He was notorious crappy owner of the Skins. You know what I mean? So this is coming off. Hainsworth was at the Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
Right.
And he was great player.
Great, but dirt. Remember, he stomped on the dude's head. Like,
he was one of those guys where it's like, he's gonna get you. It's just one of those people where it's like, he doesn't say he's a great player. That, like, he can play football really well. He could block. He does all that really well. It's just he creates problems for the team. Like, you know, he just creates problems for the team.
Yes, but a baller defensive tackle, like the big guy you want in there. All right. So free agency starts at midnight. At 12:01, he is signed.
Yep.
To the Skins. 7 years, $100 million, 41 guarantee. That was a big contract back then.
Huge contract.
Yeah. And yeah, what do you talk more about this?
Well, I mean, just Albert Hainsworth, like, when I was younger, like, just what I knew about Albert Hainsworth was big guy, Tennessee Titans, very good defensive tackle. Didn't really read into much about, like, the dirty play, and then he goes to the Redskins. My buddy was a huge Redskins is a huge Redskins fan, Commanders fan now, but, like, when we were kids, like, he was a little bit more, like, he would just kind of read or everything. He didn't, like into it as much, have his own opinion, so he kind of was just going off of what was going on. And so he was talking about, we got Hainsworth. He's going to be great. And I was like, all right, yeah, we'll see what happens. And I would go over to his house. We'd always watch Redskin games on Sunday and all that. And as we know, like, with Hainsworth, he comes in. He plays games, but he never played, like, a full season with them or anything.
Well, you're kind of skipping. You're skipping a big part of how Hainsworth is a bum.
Well, I mean, there's the huge thing was how he was, like, boycotting, like, huge workouts, and he never got along with, like, Mike Shanahan and the whole entire Redskins staff. Never got along with them.
Could not pass his physical.
Yeah, and he was one of those guys where it's just like, hey, like, as a fan, you know what I mean? Like, because I remember my friend, he was always saying the same thing. He's just a pain in the ass where it's like, hey, do whatever you got to do, pass this damn physical, like, whatever you have to do, just pass. Get on the field.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when he was on the field, he was still playing good, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then they can't do that, gets in fights, boycotts workouts, all this.
Yep.
And then it kind of leads to where they're just like, you know what, we're getting rid of this guy. We're completely got to get rid of him. I think they didn't win many games with him. It's not like he was a huge impact to their team at all. All. And then they traded him to the one and only New England Patriots. I think it was 2 years after they signed him, and the contract was what'd you say? 7 years, $100 million. That was the contract.
7 years, yes, which is huge back then.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
he plays 2 years and then trades him to yours truly, and he played in New England, I think, for a couple more years after that.
He was traded for a 5th round pick to New England. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he played a couple years in New England. It's not like he was a huge changer there. I mean, he played well. Like, when he was on the field, like, he could play well. Like, he was never, like, a horrible player on the field ever. You know what I mean? But it was just more off the field stuff. Couldn't do it. And it's such a big contract. And the guy's never on the damn field. And then you're like, as a fan especially, you're just like, all right, get in there. And it's like, Well, now he's finally in there and he's like blowing up at his coaches. He's not going to work. It's just like, this guy's a pain in the ass. Get him off the damn team, and they eventually do. And I mean, for that big of a contract for a defensive tackle to go out there, play a couple seasons, barely play 50% of the games in those seasons, and then leave, and you're hit with all that money. I mean, it's just
after 20 games, he had 12 starts. Here's a great little paragraph to pretty much break down the Albert Haynesworth signing. Okay. The entire Haynesworth experience was a debacle for Washington fans. He started 12 games in 2009, but boycotted workouts the following offseason and arrived at training camp out of shape. In 2010, he was suspended for 4 games for refusing to cooperate with head coach Mike Shanahan and his staff. And it's a pretty big, when they talk about Albert Haynesworth, I can't remember, I don't know if they're playing the Cowboys or somebody, where he gets knocked to the ground and he just lays there on his stomach. He's just like laying like a dead fish.
Yep.
He's just like, and the play's going and he's just like
he doesn't move. Yeah.
He doesn't move.
Yeah, because that was, I forgot, when that one off season where he showed up and he was very out of shape, fat, and just looked horrible. That was like,
the year they signed him. That was that year.
Yeah,
you know
that was
mean?
just like, that's like the main thing that I remember, because like my buddy was huge. He's just a huge sports guy, like everything sports. Especially back then, all he wanted to do was like go into sports broadcasting and everything. So then he's like, we see him, then he's like, dude, this guy shows up and he's a fat ass, and we're like, and I was like, yeah. So that's Haynesworth in a nutshell.
We signed Albert Haynesworth, not Fat Al. You know what I mean?
Not Fat Albert.
Yeah, Fat Albert. You know what I mean? So that is our top 10. Our top 10. That's a pretty good list.
Absolutely.
Eagles took a beating on this.
Yeah,
you know
NFC
what I mean?
East took a beating, honestly.
Actually, yeah, it did. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I got some. So I hope you guys agree with our list. If you do, if you don't, throw your list down, and we'd love to see it. You know what I mean? But I got a couple things here. I'm going to call it the final thoughts. Okay. Now, Cam Scadaboo. Have you seen any of this Cam Scadaboo thing out the last couple days?
Nope. What's going on with him? Fill me in.
He's a dope. He is a dope. You know what I mean?
He's not the smartest. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, if you get my drift.
So he was on some podcast, okay, and he was asked about CTE. You know what I mean? Does CTE exist? Whatever. Okay. And this is what he says. Okay. Let's read it here. So this is from Football Forever. Giants running back Cam Scadaboo says CTE, and he calls it it's an excuse. Okay. You think CTE is a real thing, Scadaboo? Nah, it's an excuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they start talking, and he's like, it's about asthma. He's like, oh, asthma? You just got to breathe air. You know what I mean? And then he comes out with an apology, okay? Because probably everybody's like, dude, you're such a douche. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I recently did an interview and had a lapse in judgment, which resulted in me making a tasteful joke about CTE and asthma. It was never my intentions to downplay the seriousness of head injuries or asthma. I sincerely apologize, and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
No, you didn't. You think that, and you're a moron.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And here's a dude. He ain't gonna be he ain't gonna last 5 more years tops.
Yeah, who knows? He's gonna break his neck eventually. He's just one of those guys where it's like, I mean, you can kind of already tell he just looks like an idiot.
Right.
But hey, he's a good player out there for New York. But like, you could just say every single one of his games, he gets hit in the head bad, and you're like, oh. And then
Absolutely.
It's like one of those ones. Eventually, we'll get him. So
yeah. And then I have one more thing. It's kind of a joke. You know what I mean? You're going to like this one. Okay. This is It's a tweet by. It's I love the name Richard Johnson of NFL. Okay. Free agent Tyreek Hill wants to play for a team where he, quote unquote, doesn't have a baby mama in the city. It's down to 4 teams. I saw that tweet and I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love it.
But any final thoughts before we get out of here? What do you got?
Hopefully we see a little bit more action. Maybe we see some more signings. Looking forward to the draft this year, of course. It's coming up faster than anything. We got Easter coming up in a couple weeks. Hope everybody enjoys their Easter. And my main thing is we need Kansas over St. John's today.
Oh,
Kansas over St. John's.
Oh, I picked St. John's to.
This is like huge. It's a huge match. Like it's like pretty much 50-50, and it's a big game. A lot of brackets are going to go one way. A lot of.
So are you taking Kansas? I took St. John's. I got St. John's in the Final Four.
St. John's is great, and I remember when I was picking, and I was like I went with Kansas, and I never changed it because like I didn't tinker with that one. But I remember thinking after I was like I might have wanted to go St. John's, but
right.
I tinker with a lot, but I don't tinker with anything. Only thing I ever tinker is with usually my first games. Like I never really tinker past the first round, so I kept it. I was like, I'm just gonna keep what I got. I thought it, and it is what it is. But that's who I got, and I'm gonna be rooting for Kansas today.
Well, we're against each other today.
Yep.
Go St. John's. All right. And on that note, Fishing with J Dub says, "Great show, fellas."
Thanks, J Dub. Shout out J Dub.
Fishing with J Dub. Have your Barks root beer, diet root beer, sugar free. Craven, if you're craving some nuts, have some Craven. We want to thank Sutton Motorsports, Fishing with J Dub, Stone Out Entertainment, Blue Line Bigfoot, Electric Blue and the Cosmic Truth for this fine music.
Yep.
I think J Dub got in. Oh, nope, my bad. All right. So, Zach, till next week, we're going to come up with some more fun stuff. Oh, great show. This is a blast. I got some fun stuff lined up for us. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
So, all right, everybody. Enjoy and be safe. Congratulations to Mitchell.
Congrats, Mitch. Congrats on the home birth.
Yes. He's like Stephon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Catching babies. All right, everybody. We're out of here.